One of the true all-stars of racing recently has been Martin Truex Jr. because he's been one of the hottest free agents that many teams are looking at signing for the future. It was Michael Waltrip and his race team that landed that prize of the offseason, and Wendy has more in this week's Real Deal.
Thanks, Johnny. For more on Michael Waltrip Racing and his retirement, let's check it out.
As an owner, I knew there was a time that would come that I wouldn't be a full-time driver anymore, and that time is now.
You feel like the weight's been lifted off your shoulders?
Yeah, I think so. I just appreciate the fact that so many people work so hard to get it all done. I mean, it's the perfect deal at the perfect time. Martin Truex Jr. is the right guy to occupy my seat, and I told you before, Wendy, if I thought I'd find somebody to go faster than me in it, I'd get them, and they could have it, and that's what we did.
No, I didn't believe you when you told me that earlier in the year.
Well, I'll be honest, you know, I don't drive a car to be a race car driver. That doesn't do it for me. I drive it to win. I just want to win. And I hadn't had the chances regularly. You know, I've almost won a couple, but I haven't had regular chances to do it. So it just changes you, makes you look at things differently, and this just bolsters our lineup. It makes it that much more solid with Martin on board.
So when you told me earlier in the year that...
I hate to give my secret away, but it had two purposes to it. I wanted to make sure people watched and seen how it would go. That was one. I wanted to make sure if there's any superstar drivers that are thinking maybe they want to do something different in '09, they know there might be a seat available for them if they wanted to come to MWR and drive.
So it looks like your little evil plan paid off now. So good job on that.
I had a couple of agendas with that. You know, I was just telling what was on my heart. I know what my future is. I know in 2010 I'm going to get to run the Daytona 500 and maybe some more races. I know that I'm going to have a guy that I have faith in, the 56 car going and racing for a championship. I think my legacy as a driver has pretty much been shaped up by now, and I probably don't have Hall of Fame numbers. There's this one time I lost 462 races in a row. I remember that pretty good.
How do you see your legacy in your mind? How is it going to play out as a driver?
Well, I'm proud of what I've accomplished. I mean, I read the other day I won $47 million. That's pretty cool.
You never knew it, did you?
Wished I knew where some of it was. I'd go get it. And you know, starting 1,000 NASCAR races, only me and Richard Petty have done that. That's just fun. And I just showed up every Sunday believing that I was going to be able to win the race. And hopefully that might define what I've accomplished. Not only the wins, but being able to be around on every given Sunday to get a chance to win because I was determined and I wouldn't give up.
You're going to run a few races here and there. Does that mean you'll be at the racetrack every week, or are you going to actually take some weekends off now?
Well, that's interesting. I want to go to the Goodwood Festival, which is in England. That's on a weekend, so I might miss that race. And there will be times when I might not be around, but I can't wait to get up on that pit box and watch the Napa car run and sit up there with the guys. That's exciting, Wendy. I'm going to get to do something I've never done before. I'm going to get to be up on the box with my guys and trying to help orchestrate a win for our team. I'm looking forward to that.
Maybe they're not going to like it if you're...
They probably won't. They'll have to put up with it a little bit, though.
Remember, back in Sonoma, Michael Waltrip wasn't there. Patrick Carpentier was in the 55. Well, that was Michael Waltrip's first Cup race that he had missed in 24 years. Kenny Wallace, you know what it's like when you're not at the racetrack. Things are just a little bit different. But after 24 years, Michael Waltrip said he can use a break. He could use a few off weekends, but he will be at the racetrack full-time on that pit box as the owner of Martin Truex's car.
You know, Wendy and race fans, I appreciate Michael Waltrip beyond belief. This guy, I mean, look at him in a dictionary of somebody that makes sure he keeps getting it on. Like he said, 400 and something races until he won. Then he won 2 Daytona 500s. One thing last I have to say is that, like drivers, car owners are not getting any younger. Jack Roush, you know, Roger Penske, Richard Childress, let me see who else here, Rick Hendrick. These guys are pushing up in their 60s, okay, not old, but Spence, you know, you don't want to go to all the races anymore when you're approaching 70 years old. So we need these young car owners like Tony Stewart and Michael Waltrip.
And I think it's really good for the sport. Michael realizes that, you know what, it's time for me to move on. Martin landed a good job there. It's good for Napa. It's good for NASCAR. I think it's a good thing for our sport.
And I'm just glad Mikey Waltrip's still going to be around the track, except for one weekend. He's too much fun to have around. We need you around, Mikey.